and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Well, it's continuing to happen. This is not a YouTube-specific related story, but YouTube will be mentioned in the story because censorship is starting to get out of control. And I've told this to our audience. I even brought in Lauren about what Hard Lens Media had to go through, and I think it's a story that we hear over and over and over and over again. But more independent media content creators are being censored and suppressed and silenced. And it's impacting a lot of people's livelihoods. And this has to focus on PayPal and Venmo. So first I want to bring up Jimmy Dore. He retweeted this out about a colleague that shows up on his show a lot, Jackson Hinkle. Again, for those of you who don't know, we've had Jackson Hinkle on the show before in the past, where he has been censored by YouTube and other social media platforms. Jimmy Dore retweets this out. Another anti-war voice being silenced. This is how to control the narrative. So what's going on? If we can, let's focus. Can we hit on Jackson Hinkle's tweet just once on there? I have been arbitrarily banned from PayPal and Venmo. This is an attack on my free speech and journalism. So let's focus on there for a second. In this day and age of social media, where we have access to video content and millions of people have a chance to speak their mind, perspectives, and points of view, this is the first time in a long time where I think people have the power to actually give their thoughts, their opinions. Are there individuals that abuse this power? The answer is yes. But I believe, and perhaps I've been pulled aside, like maybe you're being too naive about this, but the world is filled with good people. And I want to continue my call for more citizen journalists. I want to see more people step up and actually talk about what's happening in their city, their community. I want to see more people actually challenge this neoliberal corporate narrative that's been, for the most part, not even for the most part, majority of its history, giving us fake news, false information, or giving us the narrative that the establishment wants us to hear.
That started with like the Lusitania, yeah, like that was the first big thing, the yellow journalism with like,
it's even more than
like,
that. The hell was
and
Maine,
the
Maine, the hell was Maine,
mm-hmm.
the hell was Spain. Remember the Maine, the hell was Spain. Which again, it wasn't a sea mine that blew up that ship. No. The ship had an internal combustion. All right, it blew up from the inside because people just weren't maintaining the ship properly. So again, the media, corporate establishment media, has a long set history of giving fake news. Hey, most famous one, there are WMDs in Iraq. Or the Hunter Biden laptop story. It's not real. Then turns out there were no WMDs. It turns out the Hunter Biden laptop story was real. And again, the list can go on and on and on. I mean, that's a pretty long list, though.
Yeah. Yes. Like I said, we just traced it to like recent history in World War I. Like, I mean, it's been going on. And the Spanish American War. Yes. Like it's been going on forever.
And so I want to pull up another tweet here. Well, and again, I want to pull this up from Aaron Mate, who, again, award-winning journalist, has done a lot of work on covering a lot of international stories, most notably in Syria and so much more. So let's pull up this tweet from Aaron Mate. Again, check out his work. Jackson has built a large YouTube following through hard work and challenging the prevailing narratives about what's happening in Ukraine proxy war. In response, he gets the financial squeeze from tech giants. And again, it's a retweet of what Jackson Hinkle posted on his social media, and that is PayPal and Venmo are banning him. He's been arbitrarily banned from those platforms, and it's wrong because that's his livelihood. That's how he makes a living. And Hard Lens Media knows what that's like because YouTube, and again, it's a different subject altogether in regards to PayPal and Venmo, because it's still something that we talk about, and that is YouTube hit us not once, but 6 times. It's unfair. It's not even correct for me to say that we're recovering. We're still trying to get up after those 6 gut checks. And one of the following consequences that we sometimes still get viewers and subscribers private messaging me or user Daniel to some extent, or maybe even one of the other team members. Hey, how come I was unsubscribed? Or, oh my God, you guys are still around. I thought you guys quit. Yes, these are some of the messages we get. It's unfortunate, and we're still dealing with it. And I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon. The entire team has talked about this, and I know that there are a lot of other YouTube channels that have been hit even harder than Hard Lens. And YouTube is making sure that they'll forever remain demonetized. I want to pull up this other YouTube video, this other tweet from Caitlin Johnson. who says this is a coordinated attack, and it's in regards to what Jackson Hinkle went through as well. So while we are pulling on this tweet, I want to just remind all of you, because the next tweet we're going to be pulling up is something that we've mentioned a few weeks ago on this show. Let's pull this up here. In less than 45 days, PayPal has banned Mint Press News, Consortium News, Caleb Maupin, Wyatt 13, as well as Jackson Hinkle, plus more in a witch hunt against anti-war journalists and outlets. GoFundMe took down our fundraisers. The sanctions regimes is targeting its own citizens at this point. And this calls into question about what happens to independent media when we are squeezed off of all media platforms. We have to realize that people are going to have different perspectives and points. I know there's a lot of times when we cover a story, our audience, you have a different perspective, and that's what I love about our audience. It's important that we all have different perspectives. Lauren and I have different perspectives. Daniel and I have different perspectives. FaZe and I have different perspectives. Same thing with Kira and Lainey and everyone else, including the team members at Chicago Corner with Jerry Vassilatos and Edward Heller. That's life in general. And you're going to need to hear it out. And I think it's very important that we all have to sit down and talk things out. That's what society has to do. But this over-reliance on censorship, it's not right. It's not fair. So I think it's only fair that I want to bring up this video from Russell Brand, who, it's just a short 20-second video. He admits that he gets things wrong, but there is a narrative that we're seeing. So let's go ahead and play that video.
I've made a lot of mistakes. I've been wrong many times, but I'm beginning to think I'm right about this. The mainstream media is not your friend. The culture is not your friend. The government is not your friend. Big business is not your friend. They are operating collegiately in unison to create a set of systems that are beneficial to them and disadvantage you. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've been wrong many times.
It's going to be repeating itself again. So, and that's the point I want to say. We see big tech, two-party system, and corporate media as a whole constantly trying to control the narrative so it keeps us in the dark. What's happening to Jackson Hinkle is unfair, and it's not right. And I want to say, for everything that we've been through, Hard Lens Media wants to see his stuff restored, as well as Mint Press News, Caleb Maupin, Consortium News, and everyone else that's been wrongly hit. We stand in solidarity because we've gone through this too. If you want to fight for independent media, I think it's important for all of our viewing audience to double check and triple check that you are still subscribed to all the video platforms. But it's not only independent media that's being hit. Every single content creator on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook is suffering with these draconian censorship laws. And we have to start tiptoeing around eggshells. It's not right. I've spoken enough on this. Lauren, I'd like to get your perspective on this.
I do agree with you on this. It is kind of frightening. And Russell Brand is right too. And we've said this on the show before, that big business, politicians, corporations, they're not our friends. They are working together to make things work out for them, and they do not care who they step on in order to get there. And say what you will about Jackson Hinkle. I mean, I haven't seen too much of his stuff, so I can't comment too deeply on what he has to say specifically. But, it's when I did see, it's just because he's saying, maybe there's more to the story. Maybe there's more to this than what we're being told. I guarantee you they're hiding stuff from us.
Right.
There's absolutely going to be some, things that they know, the politicians, that the generals, that the people who are actively involved with, right now, I think he got banned because of things he was saying about the war in Ukraine. There's going to be things about that we are not privy to, and that we do not know. And it sounds like for questioning that, kind of got in trouble. And that is sketchy.
Yes, and the thing is, as commentators, as journalists, it's important to see all perspectives and points of view. Look what happened to RT America and RT as a whole. Now, of course, you're going to hear from the media saying, oh, that's Russian media. The sad fact is, you have to see all perspectives to get a better point of view. I want to say this. I believe our audience has the intelligence to make your own decisions. Yes, we do stories here Lauren gives her perspectives and points of view, covers stories, as do I, as do all of our other co-hosts. But we expect all of you to absorb this information and make your own conclusions, your own choices. Anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to look at all sorts of different media in order to get a complete picture. You're never going to get a complete picture from just one source. And so many people try to say that they're well informed, but the only thing they watch is MSNBC. The only thing they watch is Fox News. The only thing they watch is CNN. And you're never ever going to get a complete picture, regardless, of just with one network. You're never going to. You have to watch, or at least peek around at other people, at other perspectives. And, even if they're wrong most of the time, sometimes they're right, and sometimes they make a good point, and sometimes they make you want to just, actually, I should probably delve a little deeper. So.
Agreed. So, all in all, Jackson Hinkle, on the off chance you do see this video, we stand in solidarity with you. I'm sorry that PayPal and Venmo did this to you, but for anyone else that's a supporter of his, please follow him on all social media, as well as follow Mint Press News, The Gray Zone, Caleb Maupin, Consortium News, because a lot of these independent media networks, these commentators, they're all being hit hard. They're all being hit financially, and it's severely impacting them and their content and the work they do. And yes, the people that they also employ to take care of them so they can do that stuff. So this is only going to get worse, and I wish this wasn't the case. So everyone, if Hardlands Media is still here tomorrow, we just wanted to say thank you for all your support. And Jackson Hinkle, keep on fighting the good fight. Hopefully this will get reversed at what PayPal and Venmo has done. And same thing for what they've done to Mint Press News and Consortium as